I really went into this blind. We all did. I'd never auditioned for a game before. I don't think any actors had auditioned for games before without really knowing what it was and how it was going to be done. For the Star Wars gaming universe, this was the first time that they ever utilized live action cutscenes with actors and actually filming them. There was a lot of excitement on this set, I have to say, because there was a lot more technological equipment, computers, and all sorts of things that typical film sets didn't have. Not to mention the fact that filming the actual work was all done on a blue screen, and all of the interaction that you were having, unless you had another live action actor on screen with you, we were talking to light stands and apple boxes, literally interacting with things that hadn't even been created yet. Even stuff sometimes that it did have when you were able to interact with another actor, that actor wasn't there and that was filmed separately. So almost like recording music, you know, where you just record the musicians doing their part in different places and different times. Not only was this a unique concept for the gaming industry, but it was really the testing grounds for the way that they would then go on and film the prequels of the film series. So they were kind of just throwing stuff at us, and we were the guinea pigs on how you pull off acting and interacting on a completely blue screen set. It was also the first time we saw different colored lightsabers besides the traditional red, green, and blue. You had gold, you had orange. In relationship to this, so Mace Windu has gotten the credit for being the first one to have a purple lightsaber. But Bach in the game was the first one. That was the first time it was done. I hate to admit that I had absolutely no idea what the impact the scan would have on the gaming community. My current brother-in-law, who was a gamer and a hacker from Germany that got into working and developing writing code and being a game developer, he was the one that explained to me what was going on with this game. And he showed me the PC Gamer magazine. It said, you know, #1 game of 1997, and then Jedi Knight. It was the last time I did anything as an actor, and then moved on into my current life. Out of all of the things that I have done in my life as an actor, this is the one thing that will always stand out as being perhaps the most unique thing that I've ever done. I mean, look, the hair on my arms is standing up as I talk about it, because the end result of what it is that we all worked on together wound up being something that became extraordinarily influential for an entire generation of kids. There's people that still play the game to this day, and because of technology and the ability, they do their own modifications and have sped up the graphics and tightened things up and just made things look smoother and more polished on their own. It just amazes me as how the legacy of this game and these characters have continued on. The character of Kyle Katarn became my likeness, and they utilized my likeness for action figures and for the novel series. I have no memory or understanding if I actually signed away, like, oh, by the way, you're welcome to use my likeness for this character or to perpetuate the storyline, which is really cool. I still get things sent to me that people want me to sign, and usually they come with a really nice letter explaining like what the influence of this game was to them in their childhood. Or a friend of mine will say, hey, did you know who Kyle Katarn is? And they're like, yeah, well, and then they'll point at me and go, he's Kyle Katarn. And then they look at me and peel back the layers, you know, and then they're like, oh my God, you really are Kyle Katarn. That's just awesome. People really developed a keen interest in the storyline and the original storyline I think is really cool. For those who followed the Valley of the Jedi storyline, I mean, it would be really cool if they could figure out a way to resurrect that, bring it back. I think Disney's got their finger on something that they may not realize would have a really great return for them if they could figure out a way to convert that storyline, because there's a lot of people out there that are really interested in it. You know, looking back on it now, and of course, obviously after the completion of the game and then seeing the end result, it's like, wow, we really were a part of something that was really cool. I know that my beard got a lot of attention. I remember the Kyle Katarn beard was a deal.